Kuki National Army, KNAB. Meanwhile, the Kuki National Army, KNAB, another crucial resistance force in Myanmar's ongoing struggle, has escalated its operations in regions near the Indian border. On March 10, 2025, the KNAB launched a series of successful attacks on Myanmar Junta positions in the Kachin state, near the Kuki-populated areas. These operations have led to the capture of several strategic villages and military posts, further weakening the junta's hold over this region. The KNAB's recent offensives have attracted attention for their precision and tactical coordination, signaling a shift toward more organized and sustained resistance efforts. With increasing support from local populations, the KNAB has focused on cutting off supply lines to the military and engaging in guerrilla tactics. These actions are crucial in undermining the junta's efforts to maintain control over the border regions. Thank you for reading this detailed report. Stay updated with more news from Myanmar and around the world. For exclusive updates, subscribe to Zalengam Media. Stay informed by clicking the button below. Subscribe now sources: Mizima, Karen News, Irrawaddy, BNI Online, Kachin News Group, Radio Free Asia.
Kndo Township. PDF clashes with Myanmar junta forces on Tanintharyi waterways, a snapshot of escalating conflict. March 17, 2025. On March 13, 2025, a significant military engagement occurred in Kndo Township, located within Myanmar's Tanintharyi region, between the local People's Defense Force (PDF) and the forces of the Myanmar junta. The clash, which took place near Wuntong village, illustrates the ongoing and intensifying resistance against Myanmar's military regime, particularly in strategic regions like Tanintharyi. The incident underscores the complexities of the conflict, the role of waterways as vital transportation routes, and the broader humanitarian implications that continue to plague the region. The background of the conflict in Tanintharyi region, a resource-rich area in southern Myanmar, has been a hotspot of anti-junta resistance since the military coup in February 2021. The region holds significant importance due to its proximity to both the Andaman Sea and the strategic transportation routes, particularly National Highway 8, which links the Tanintharyi region to the rest of Myanmar. Control over such routes is crucial not just for the movement of goods and personnel, but also for maintaining military and logistical dominance. The people of Tanintharyi have long been at odds with the central government in Naypyidaw, and the coup led by General Min Aung Hlaing only exacerbated these tensions. After the military took control, anti-coup forces, including various ethnic armed organizations and civilian militias, began engaging the junta's forces in guerrilla warfare, ambushing troops, and targeting strategic infrastructure to disrupt the military's operations. The Kndo Township PDF, a local militia, has been particularly active in resisting the junta in the area. The March 13th clash. On the evening of March 13th, 2025, the Kndo Township PDF, which had been moving along the region's waterways, clashed with a sizable contingent of junta troops. This confrontation occurred near Wuntong village, located along the Tanintharyi River. The PDF was reportedly traveling by boat when they encountered around 60 military personnel, including members of the infamous Pyu Saw Shti militia, which has been used by the junta for counterinsurgency operations. The junta forces were equipped with the Navy warship 114, along with 2 shuttle boats and 3 small fiber boats. These boats were deployed to reinforce the junta troops who had been engaged in combat with the PDF. The resulting firefight lasted for more than 10 minutes, with the PDF effectively repelling the junta's advances. The conflict is notable not only for the fierce combat, but also for the timing of the clash at night. which made it difficult to confirm the full extent of casualties on either side. The Kndo Township PDF reported no casualties among its forces, but the lack of clarity regarding the junta's losses means that the true human cost of the engagement remains unclear. What is certain is that the PDF managed to withdraw successfully without suffering significant damage, a testament to their growing effectiveness in resisting the junta's military might in the region. The junta's retaliation. In retaliation for the attack, the Myanmar military quickly escalated its response. Junta forces deployed additional Navy warships, specifically Navy warships 114 and 566, into the area, particularly targeting Wuntong and Shotoma villages. These vessels were reinforced by more Pew Saw T militia members, further escalating the tensions in the area. The junta's strategic deployment of additional military assets reflects their intent to regain control of the waterways and deter future resistance in the region. The military's actions in the aftermath of the clash are part of a broader pattern seen across Myanmar, where the junta has consistently used disproportionate force to quell resistance movements. This approach has been marked by indiscriminate bombings, civilian casualties, and forced displacements, particularly in regions like Tanintharyi, where anti-coup forces have strong support among local populations. Escalating clashes in Tanintharyi. The March 13th clash is just the latest in a series of ongoing skirmishes between the junta and various resistance groups in the Tanintharyi region. In July 2024, a large-scale military column of over 200 junta soldiers advanced through Kndo town, prompting mass evacuations. Thousands of residents were forced to flee their homes as the advancing military unit engaged in indiscriminate small arms fire and mortar shelling, further displacing civilians and exacerbating the humanitarian crisis. The local PDF, supported by various other resistance groups, has become increasingly adept at conducting guerrilla warfare against the junta forces.
In June 2024, for example, the PDF and other resistance factions orchestrated a successful ambush using landmines to target a military unit of over 70 junta troops in Myanmar Township. This ambush resulted in the deaths of at least 4 regime soldiers and injuries to several others. These coordinated attacks reflect the growing ability of the resistance forces to strategically disrupt the junta's control, particularly over key infrastructure like National Highway 8, which connects Tanintharyi to the rest of Myanmar. Humanitarian impact and displacement. The conflict in Tanintharyi has had a devastating impact on local civilians, particularly in the wake of military operations aimed at retaking strategic areas. As the junta continues its efforts to quash resistance in the region, the military has been accused of widespread human rights abuses, including the use of civilians as human shields, extrajudicial killings, arbitrary arrests, and the burning of homes. These actions have led to the displacement of tens of thousands of civilians. By late 2024, more than 50,000 people had been displaced in the Tanintharyi region alone, fleeing both the junta's military operations and the collateral damage caused by ongoing clashes. Refugees have sought shelter in makeshift camps or have fled across the border to neighboring Thailand in search of safety. In addition to physical displacement, the local population has faced economic hardship, with farming communities losing their livelihoods and entire villages being forced to abandon their homes. The ongoing instability has made it increasingly difficult for humanitarian aid organizations to provide essential services, further exacerbating the suffering of civilians caught in the crossfire. Broader implications of the conflict. The ongoing conflict in the Tanintharyi region highlights the broader challenges facing Myanmar in the wake of the 2021 coup. The junta's military strategy has been marked by a brutal crackdown on resistance forces, but it has also resulted in significant civilian casualties and displacement, creating a dire humanitarian crisis. The resistance in regions like Tanintharyi, however, demonstrates that the people of Myanmar are not willing to accept military rule without a fight. The Kndo Township PDF's successful engagements against the junta serve as a symbol of the broader resistance movement, which is increasingly targeting key military assets and infrastructure. Control over critical transportation routes, particularly waterways and highways, has become a central focus of the conflict. These areas are not just strategically significant for the junta, but also for the resistance forces who rely on them to move supplies, troops, and reinforcements. As such, the battles in Tanintharyi are not just about territorial control. They are about controlling the flow of resources and maintaining strategic leverage. Kachin Independence Army, KIA, and Kuki National Army, KNAB. Latest developments. Kachin Independence Army, KIA. The Kachin Independence Army, KIA, one of Myanmar's most powerful ethnic armed groups, has been intensifying its operations against Myanmar's military junta. In recent months, the KIA has secured significant territorial victories in Kachin state, such as the capture of Mansi Township in January 2025. The KIA's growing influence in the region signals a shift in the balance of power, particularly with its control over key military camps in areas like Bhamo. KIA's spokesman, Colonel Naubu, has stated that the army is actively pursuing and eliminating retreating junta troops, continuing its operations with a focus on regaining lost territory. These actions are part of the KIA's broader strategy to challenge the junta's military dominance in northern Myanmar and to bolster its long-standing fight for greater autonomy and self-determination. In recent months, the KIA has continued to strike at military convoys and strategic points, including significant operations in the Bhamo district, where KIA forces captured Bhamo Airport in late January 2025. As a result, these actions have severely disrupted the junta's operations in the area and intensified the humanitarian crisis.